Welcome back. I'm Professor Steele, and today we are going to look at graphing our sine and cosine functions. If you look at the diagram that we've been given, we have a quarter of our circle, and you'll notice they're equal increments going from the letter A to the letter J. There happens to be 9 equal increments in the span of 90 degrees. So how many degrees is each increment? You are correct if you've said 10 degrees. So we can complete the first column of our table with our angle measurement in degrees. Point A is 0 degrees. Recall, this is the end point of the arc. Point B is 10 degrees. Point C is 20 degrees. And so on, moving all the way to point J, which is 90 degrees. Equivalently, we can complete the third column of our table where the angle measure is in radians. If you note, our J is pi over 2 radians, and we have broken everything up into ninths. So 1/9 of pi over 2 is pi over 18. Then point C is pi over 2 times 2/9, or pi over 9. Point D is pi over 2 times 3/9, which simplifies to pi over 6. Point E is pi over 2 times 4/9, which is 4 pi 18ths. Point F is 5/9, so we have 5 pi over 18. Point G is 6/9, which simplies to pi over 3. Point H is 7/9, so we have 7/18 pi. Point I is 8/9, so we have 4/9 pi. And finally, 9/9 of pi over 2, which is pi over 2. So we filled out the first 3 columns. Now we need to determine our end point. So we are simply going to look at our first quadrant and try and guesstimate what that horizontal distance is for each of these points. Point A has an end point of 1. Point B is roughly 0.98, and so on as we complete this first quadrant. Similarly, we can complete the last column. This time we are looking at our vertical distance, or our y-coordinate. So at A, we have a vertical distance, or a y-coordinate of 0. At B, 0.18, and you'll notice that these should be similar to our x-coordinates, but in reverse, based on the laws of symmetry. So what we are going to do is complete these 2 graphs, the top one being our x-coordinate versus our angle measurement in degrees. And we are going to plot these points. Now that we have the first quadrant graphed, I want you to think about, just for our x-coordinate, what happens when we move into the second quadrant. And you should all be saying we have the same values, except they're going to be negative. So as we worked our way to 90 degrees, we're now going to work our way from 90 degrees to 180 degrees. So our first value will be negative 0.18, then negative 0.34, negative 0.5, all the way to the lowest point, which occurs at 180 degrees, is negative 1. So now that you've seen me create the cosine function, which is the x-coordinate versus the angle, similarly, you are going to use the y-coordinate versus the angle and create a sine function. So now that we've looked at our cosine functions and graphed it, and you have gone and graphed your sine function, similar to our cosine creation, we're going to come back and analyze them in the next video. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.